Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When I joined the House Ag Committee, I did so because of the critical importance of agriculture to my district, to my state, and the historic reputation for bipartisanship on this committee. But today, we risk throwing that all away when we could be working in a bipartisan way to support our farmers, to support our nation's agriculture industry. We're throwing it away. Look, agriculture is not just a line item in the budget for me. It's the backbone of the economy in the state of Alabama. It is a lifeline for rural communities across my district. And it's a safeguard for families on the edge of poverty and for some already in poverty. This committee has long recognized that feeding the nation is too fundamental to be driven by party lines, but we are backing away from that understanding today. Look, an effective farm bill means that a family farmer can keep their farm, it can keep their land, keep their livelihood. It means more people in my home state of Alabama don't slip below the poverty line. It means that every link in our food supply chain, from the field to the fork, remains strong and resilient. But today, that vital bipartisan foundation is being thrown away, forcing this reconciliation markup, slashing $300 billion from the SNAP program and rushing these cuts. It just disregards the real lives that really hang in the balance of a bipartisan farm bill. The mission of this agricultural committee is well known by the members on the committee, and today, by doing what we're doing to SNAP, we're not honoring that mission. We are going to a place where we're going to literally force constituents to make decisions between putting food on the table or other essential needs. This plan, these cuts, they won't eliminate hunger. They're going to exacerbate hunger. You're going to shift the cost to states in major ways, and states cannot afford it. They can't. They will not do it. And the sad part about it is we sit here doing this with that understanding in mind. They will not spend the money to replace the SNAP cuts. They will not do it. But yet we are still going headstrong down this path and adding these administrative burdens and other resource cuts. We're going to increase the error rates that we're trying to reduce and further penalize the states for doing that. And so we should really be strengthening the SNAP program, not undermining it. And I take issue with the underlying sentiment that I seem to hear in this room today, that poor people like being poor, that poor people want to be poor. That is, they can take these SNAP benefits and go invest them and go put them in a bank account. That's not what SNAP was designed to do. That's not what they can do. Where do you think the SNAP benefits get spent? They get spent in grocery stores and businesses in our local economies. And so, look, I gave a commencement address just this past weekend in Alabama, and one of the pieces of advice I gave to people was, don't ever forget where you come from. And it's a question I've heard posed many times in my life, and even in a popular song that some people will recognize. They ask me where I'm from and who I do it for. I'm from Alabama, one of the poorest states in this country. I represent one of the poorest districts in this country. The lowest median income in the country is in Alabama, or near the lowest. We cannot be doing this. These are real people, 1 in 4 households. I'm an unfortunate member of that club too. I represent a district where 1 in 4 households in my district are on SNAP benefits. 1 in 4. 1 in 4. Let that sink in. This is a poor place. And unfortunately, that's not just limited to my district. That's shared by other members of this committee in other states. So we have to be real about what we're talking about. I've heard it said that, sometimes your colleagues, they either don't know, they don't show, or they don't care. Well, I refuse to believe that you guys cannot care about poor people. I refuse to believe it. But I know, because I know where I come from, and I know it's only by the grace of God that I am not in that same bucket needing SNAP benefits. Because the Bible tells us the poor will always be with us. But what are we going to do about it? Are we going to help them, or are we going to pull the rug from under them? And unfortunately, right now, we are pulling that rug from under them. And we can do better than this. We should do better than this. There are too many people in this country that live far below the poverty line. And we're too well off to be doing this, literally pulling money from poor people to pay for tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman's